Uh-oh. You know what it is. Boys here. Yup. Welcome to the show. This boy EJ, the DJ. We having a good time tonight. We're gonna have some fun with y'all. We're gonna talk to y'all. We're gonna vibe with the people. You know what it is. Shout out to the people that's in the building on the early side. What's up, though? I like how this is going, man. We're gonna have some fun today. Talk about some new stuff in Atlanta, new stuff all over the world. I got a call in number 2. We're gonna let y'all call in and talk to us. I want to know what y'all feel about what's going on in the ATL. But before I want to go there, I want to talk about the Young Thug. Congratulations to Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist, man. That's just super dope. He proposed to her last night at his concert in Atlanta. Sold out show. Should I tell you about? I was in the building in ATL. You know what it is. Here we go. That's dope. That's dope.
What you say, man?
You didn't put the ring on her yet.
Put it on.
You gotta put it on, Thug. What are you doing? You gonna just give it a ring and don't put it on. You gotta put the ring on, man. Make sure you get the right ring finger. Make sure you get the right ring finger, man. You get the right ring finger. That's what's up. Love is dope, man. I like what you love. I like what you love.
What you say?
It's like getting married.
That's what I'm talking about, man. Congratulations again, Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist. I like that you talk like that a lot. That's super dope, man. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people online right now. They've been hating. They've been talking they smack about Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist. And I think that's super duper whack, man. Shout out to everybody that's getting married, that's in love. That's super dope, man. I definitely want to commend you and keep telling y'all, do what y'all do, man. Let's have a good time. Love is a beautiful thing. You know, February is coming up. We at the end of the year right now. So February is coming up. So that means Valentine's Day is coming up. So much is going on in the hip-hop industry. So much is coming up. Hip-hop news. I definitely want to talk to y'all, because that's what's really important. I want to know what y'all feel. I got to call it number 2. Matter of fact, let's put that up there right now, because I want y'all the people to call in and talk to me and let me know what's going on. Let me know what's going on. We got to call in number 2. I'm excited about that. We got a call in number. So if you tuned in right now, call us up 470-236-2213. Again, if you tuned in right now, call us up 470-236-2213. You know what it is. We live right now. We having a good time. TikTok world. No, we not on TikTok. We on everything else. What it is. We just learning it. I want y'all to also, if I'm figuring we got a chat box in here, I want y'all to definitely rock with me. Let me know what's going on. Let me know what you feel. Let me know what you think. We're gonna talk about some topics tonight. We're gonna see what's going on. Any updates on the David case? Yeah, I know y'all been hearing about that, right? The David case with Celeste. So many people been giving out misinformation. I don't want to do that. So I want to let y'all know that right now. We're not here to give misinformation. We only here to give our interpretation of what's going on. We're not here to misconstrue, to lie, to mislead. We're not here to do none of that. But we are here to educate y'all and give you our opinion, my opinion. You know what it is. Ejay the DJ TV. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. That's Ejay the DJ TV, EJAYTHE DJ TV. Don't forget, we are going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk about stuff in the music industry, things that have been going on. I want to know what your feelings on it, man. How you feel about that Pop the Balloon challenge? That's also been going kind of dope. We're going to get into something. You seen that the Bobby Smurder joint in Minnesota? I didn't know Minnesota was active like that. Ain't that crazy? Minnesota
There.
active. Maybe not. Well, yeah. So you going? Let me see what's going on with the music and all that. I get some highlights and everything was going on. Matter of fact, before we go there, because it's still early, I want to talk about some things that have been going on. Charleston White in the headlines right now. I think that been kind of dope. Charleston White goes off on Say Cheese. Interesting. Let's see what that's about.
Now, this may be my last interview with him.
Oh,
Because I'm going to tell him this to his face.
oh.
You messy. You got to be like Antoine
Yeah, that's so interesting, right? Let's listen to that.
Daniels and the other people who, you got a problem with Charleston. Let's not do that here. That's why your number's going down. Every come back to Danza, block you. Come back to Danza, man, block. Get your out of here. That's a weaker channel. Get that number down in the mud. Go back to Danza, some more hoe. Cause you want me to see a hoe and go back to him? I'm bigger than everybody. Why don't you f with Cam Capone? He too little.
I don't know what y'all think about this, man. Charleston White be going in, man. We're gonna have some fun tonight. You know what it is. Don't forget we got that call-in number. Call us up. Let's have a conversation. Let's go.
He too little. Nigga, I'm a big dog. No, a small ass motherfucking channel like that. Nigga. He can't afford me. How can I sue their ass? You can't, nigga. Cause you're asking to. If you really wanted to sue, you would have already tried. You wouldn't be asking how to. You would know how to. I don't help people scam. I help people win legitimate. And if you don't help, I don't think you can win legitimate. Ask, how can I win? You can't. Vlad TV, Vlad too small. Vlad numbers ain't big enough for me. Yeah, I got me hanging around.
Yo, Charleston White is definitely undefeated. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. He's definitely undefeated. Always funny. I want to know what y'all think about that. Y'all tuned in right now. Don't forget that caller number 470-236-2213. Let me know what you think about what's going on. Let me know what you think about what's going on, man.
And she'll be here tomorrow. Say TV. This is the bullshit started to be a bull channel anyway. Yeah, it started to be a real bull channel. Cause I be looking at the title and I be saying, man, either they stupid over there, why everything Charleston White goes off? Oh, they turn to yellow. Duh. The title. The turnaround. Duh, the title. So I notice people who put positive titles, Tasha K, it's the Charleston White goes off. Puts it down there. Charleston White breaks down. Man, you and Woody start y'all own channel. Block. Woody ain't that big to start no channel. That's why he ain't doing nothing. Get your motherfucking ass out of here. Breakfast Club. Block. I want to be on a Breakfast Club. Adam 22. Hey, block. You sit down no punk ass white boy with a bunch of gangbangers around it. I'm with Aiden Ross and make more than him with Aiden Ross. But you know, I'm starting to say, homie, this starting to become a pattern, homie. Have me fly in and just the number woo 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 woo. Treat me like I ain't your best. Okay. You see how them dancers looking over there without me? And without me, say Cheese TV numbers don't look so good. And I've been holding it back. But you ain't finna keep treating me like this. You ain't finna keep treating me like this. Wow. Yo, I'm waiting on your camera girl. You might need some new camera people. Or you might not just need to stop interviewing Charleston White. Cause don't look like you appreciate Charleston White and what he do for your channel. Charleston White appreciates you. When you call, he stop what he doing and jump. You hard to get in contact with now. And I think you setting up a beef for me and Philly, for somebody to die. I really think that. You got a history of it.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
You got a history of it, Sean. Mode 3, you ain't learned from Mode 3, Trap Boy Freddy, and Yellow Bees. You ain't learned. That's why your channel not growing. You're stagnant, your numbers. You was trying to do something extra. Now you just throwing out anything. Your audio up. Your audio up at Barstool Sports. Get the f out of here. B-Talk Sports. Get out of here. Your audio up. You ain't got no new mic. You just stagnant. That ain't how businesses grow. I'm growing. I'm actually growing past your TV just used me for views.
Wow.
Aiden Ross, brand partnership, build up together. Sean just make $100,000, but could make 3 times as more in different entities, but he can't get off YouTube. He's still using negative titles. He's still using clickbait titles. Funny look, man. Listen. I've been on big platforms like CCTV. The numbers they CCTV get in a month, because those platforms are big and they know what they're doing with professional people, those numbers he get in a month, they get in a week. But he's stuck back then. But he my little homie. He ain't my little homie. He's my partner. My partner and my business associate. Cause we ain't business partners. He's a business associate. He paid me, I provide a service. But if he was sharp, man, as much as I be around the country, and people ask him about me, he's supposed to be streaming with me like Alien. Do you know what that would have done for the streaming world? I would just sit back and wait for him.
That'd have been dope. I can't
I
lie.
wouldn't go, cause you know, like, man,
That'd have been dope.
Man, they got to figure it out. And when you say something, we're going to start, man, let me back up. Everybody who I done talked to, it's been a whole year now. We're going to start streaming. Ain't one of them streamed yet. They still over there with Charleston White content. Say, homie, you doing 1 million views right here on YouTube. Why don't you build and ass cap it and put it in the podcast world? Why we still over here, homie? Why we ain't over here with Acme, man? Joe Rogan, man. We doing the numbers for the young. Come on, man. So I'm not growing everybody. So this may be my last TV interview. This may be Charleston White's farewell because I'm looking at it saying, man, you're outgrowing it. And then when you go sit down with them, look how they clueless to what you're talking about. And it's everything is.
This is really interesting because Sean Cotton, Say Cheese TV and Charleston White, they started off together. And Say Cheese TV was giving Charleston White the consistent money. But you gotta listen to what Charleston White is saying. I want to know what y'all feel about this. This is very interesting because, the Danza Report, they stopped talking. And do Charleston got a valid point? He's a businessman, so I want to know what y'all think about this. 470-236-2213. I want to know what you think about this right now. Tuned in. Let me know what you feel about this because this is very interesting. Like interesting news. Wow.
No substance. He ain't displaying you in the best light. They don't promote your comedy shows. What's your next? None of that. It's all about pitting you against whatever celebrity's coming up. For the viewership. They're not even focusing on the engagements. They're not even focused on the engagements. Well, what's the engagement? Man, come on. So I'm outgrowing who I started with and who put me on. They still doing the same thing.
You gotta grow. You gotta grow.
I'm just busting it down, man. Man, mama say when
I think the worst feeling in life is being the same place you was last year at the new year. Sometimes in life you got to elevate no matter where you at. So you got to understand the importance of elevation. So you can't do the same thing. If you understand the podcast world, the streaming world, you got to go up. You got to go up. It's only a matter of time. Like if you know the DJ TV, how we started, I'm still DJing. Don't get it twisted. I'm still DJing. I'm still outside, but we get into the streaming world. So this is the beginning of it right now. So shout out to everybody that's rocking with us on the early side. This is going to be in the streaming world. We're going to have conversations. We still doing interviews as well. Don't forget conversation with Ejay the DJ. Don't forget. Go to the channel right now. We got live joints. Shout out to Miss Cox. Shout out to... I got a lot of artists up there. Like for is going to get right. So just rock with me. It's still the beginning, but you got to elevate. So this is really important that you got to elevate. So let's listen to what Charleston is saying.
your season change, your tune change. When you know better, you do better. I've been doing this shit long enough to know now. Say TV, Dallas over all those YouTube influencers is a thing of the past. Streamers are it now.
Yep.
YouTubers are the thing of the past.
Yep.
Even social media influencers.
Yep.
Because you just have a social media page.
That's it.
What are you influencing?
Got to influence.
Now, Charleston White is a social media influencer.
I want y'all to listen to that and understand what he's saying, right? He's saying that the YouTubers is getting slow because it's getting oversaturated, but the streaming is where it's at. And streaming means like you like 24 hours, like you living a life. The camera's with you all the time. So from when you wake up, you go to bed, you outside interacting, you seeing life in real time. And that's really dope. Like that's the goal we working on. Shout out to the staff behind the camera. We working on that. We're gonna get to that level of being streaming all the way everywhere, even live. I'm DJing New Year's as well. So we're gonna work on that. So shout out to everybody rocking with us right now. But this is like super dope. It's really important. So I want y'all to really listen to what he's saying because this is really, really important information, I think. What you think?
Vlad TV, just a YouTuber. Stacey TV, just a YouTuber. Why you don't think you don't see Breakfast Club, $1 Million Worth of Game, Joe Rogan, all these people on YouTube? They're not YouTube. They're journalists and podcasters and media platforms. Those are YouTube platforms. They don't have media credentials. See what I'm saying? The YouTube platform. So once you start understanding things, you don't come back to high school, nigga. You in college.
Like he said, media credentials, Ejay the DJ TV. We outside on location. You know what it is. We've been doing a lot of events, red carpets. We've been doing a lot of stuff. Shout out to the Sheena World. Shout out to Inner City Magazine. You know what it is. When I say we outside, we outside. We just coming. So yeah, we jumping on YouTube because this is definitely a platform as well. So I don't agree with him 100%, but I exactly understand what he's saying because these platforms are very helpful. People get the chance to see you, and visibility is still good across all platforms. So no matter where you at, you can still scream. Don't get it twisted. Screaming is really important, but don't forget everything matters right now because you don't know what's going to hit first.
I keep saying, hey, y'all, this is what I'm learning. I'm breaking it down what I'm learning. And I see y'all really ain't listening. Need this buddy and his team.
They listening.
He could quadruple the content that he has.
I'm listening to that.
He don't have to replay it.
Very interesting.
Just submit it into the airways, buddy. And let people who don't have time to come to YouTube catch it on Spotify, Pandora, and the airways. Come on, guys. That's what Act doing. Same with the jewelers. Tagging your jeweler. I'm telling my jeweler.
I want to know what y'all think about this right now because a lot of y'all is tuned in right now. He's saying a lot of people going to streaming. There's so many different platforms out here. Don't forget, you can call me up too, 470-232-2213 again. So let me know what you think. I want to know your opinion. I want to know what you think about that because we live right now. I want to get your opinion. You're more than welcome to call in 470-236-2213. You know what it is. I'm your boy Ejay the DJ. Make sure you follow me on all social media platforms. Ejay the DJ TV, and I am Ejay the DJ is my main page. You know what it is. I'm also a DJ, so I will be doing live mixes on here as well. Shout out to all the people that's tuned in with me right now. I'll be doing live music reviews. If you're the first time here, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, You know what it is. We having a good time. I need you to comment, rock with your boy. Shout out to everybody rock with me right now. This is new. So we just having a good time. But this is Charleston Wayne right now, talking about his separation with Say Cheese TV. If you know about Say Cheese TV and Charleston White, they've been doing a lot of things together for a long time, and it's interesting that they're having a breakup, but they're not working together no more. And it's really interesting because Sean Cotton owns Say Cheese TV. Charleston White is growing; he's getting bigger and bigger by the day, and he's saying that man is not elevating. Allegedly, I don't know. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna finish up, then we're gonna go to the David story and talk about David. If you don't know about the R&B or the artist, that the young girl was found in the front seat of the trunk. A trunk, I don't know how to say it, in a Tesla. Oh, yeah. We're going to talk about that in a second.
I'm walking around with your jewelry on. I'm tagging Katie Custom Jewelry. Don't nobody know. You know what I mean? Everybody know. Everybody know you in your city. Everybody know you in your city. But you got to wear your jewelry around the world. Why wouldn't you do what Johnny Dang do? Johnny Dang faces every goddamn where he is wearing jewelry. He's branding his likeness and his image. You lazy. Tag you for what? Don't nobody know you.
Wow.
Y'all don't give nothing away.
Wow.
Johnny is capping. Marketing is everywhere. Johnny Dang. Everywhere. They know Johnny Dang.
Now, I'm playing this video for a reason, right? Because I want y'all to understand something. I'm a big fan of success leave clues, right? And some people don't like Charleston White for that. Whatever reason, that's none of my business. We not here to like or dislike. We only here to educate and put Jews in front of you. So I always say success leave clues. Listen to what he's saying and understand what you want to do in life. If you're an artist right now, listen to what he's saying. He's giving you the game. So just understand what he's saying to understand what you need to apply. So when I say people give information like a plate of food, you gonna eat everything, like listen to everything, and only use what apply to you. So make sure you understand what I'm trying to say to you, because information is important. I'm a firm believer of success leave clues. And this is a perfect example of what he's saying and how he's saying it. So pay attention, people.
Name's face. Name another jeweler face y'all know. Because they're not branding themselves. With their likeness and image, they ain't supposed to go off their name. Your name means nothing 2 states over. That's why Johnny beating y'all with the. Because every time they look up, Johnny in the mix. We don't know what Icebox look like. You know what Johnny Dang look like.
Yo, I'm gonna stop it right there, man. I'm gonna stop it right there because I want to go to the David case and talk about that because that's something that I've been following for a little while. It's been a little frustrating. So much been happening with that case right there. I think it's really important because we don't know exactly what's happening, but I feel like it's very important because a lot of people have been covering it, right? A lot of people been covering this case, and there's so much information that's happening, and I want to get y'all opinions, like for real, because every day is something new, and I'm a firm believer of sources because I know that's important. So I want to let y'all know one more time. Call us up 470-236-2213. That's the calling number right now. So if you tuned in right now, I want to know your feelings, your thoughts. We just talked about, well, we didn't talk, but we listened to Charleston White. He broke down what was going on and how it was going on. Him and Sean Carton saying, how these dudes got to really learn to grow, which I think is very important. I think I'm about to get a drink in a second because I'm just my first time doing it a little bit. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna have some fun with y'all. Let's see. This is the case with David. A lot of speculation been happening. No arrests have been made as of yet. A lot of speculation. A lot of people saying she was chopped up allegedly. A lot of people saying she was in a freezer allegedly. We don't know what's going on because we gotta look at the autopsy from the coroner. And I don't know if people are just making stuff up, but there's a lot of YouTubers out here making stuff up. We're not making nothing up. We're only going to talk about the facts that we hear. So I got a little information from Law and Crime Sidebar with Jesse Webb. Shout out to them on that side. This is David. That's the gentleman in black. And that's Celeste. Supposedly, she's supposed to be an underage young lady. A lot of information been going on. She was found in a trunk or the front of a Tesla. I had a Tesla. I had the Model 3. I had it in 2022 when it first came out. Yeah. Shouts on the Tesla drivers. And it was called a front. I think it was called. I don't know. I didn't barely use it that much. You know what I'm saying? But it was super fast. Shouts out to my Tesla drivers too. I want to talk about this case because so much been happening. So much been going on, but we don't know. So I want to know what y'all feel about this.
Just revealed in connection with the mysterious death and disposal of 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the teenager whose body was allegedly found in singer David's car. Turns out the private investigator who's been looking into this case just made a bombshell revelation on social media we got to talk about. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, real quick before we jump into this, got to tell you it's open enrollment season again. Yeah, this is where you compare the exploitative premiums, the fine print of health insurance. It is chaos. It is awful. The good news is we got a great sponsor to help us out. Child Health. It's different. You know why?
We not trying to do all that respectfully. We ain't trying to knock nobody. We trying to get the information of what's going on respectfully. This is David right here. I ain't gonna lie, dude got a lot of screams, so a lot of stuff been going on.
Her body was found in a Tesla that was...
As a Tesla, she was found in front of the place that he lived at. So it's very interesting to see how this case gonna play out. It's really sad because she was 14 years old. And he's supposed to be, I think, 19 or 20. So this case is very interesting. It hit home. I want to know your opinions on this because this is like a really sad situation and nobody knows what happened to this little girl. Very interesting.
Was allegedly registered to singer David back in September out in LA. There have been no arrests. There have been no charges filed. There has been reporting, particularly from TMZ, that possibly an investigative grand jury out in LA may be hearing evidence. We did previous sidebars on that. You can check it all out. But one underlying question that we don't have the answer to, and from a forensic point of view, perhaps is a complicating factor, is what happened to Celeste.
Yes.
How did she die?
We want to know that.
What was the true state of her body?
True.
How was she moved? Which is why the update that I'm about to get into is so interesting.
Yes, it is.
I want to talk about complicating. You know what else is complicating? The fact that the cause and manner of death hasn't been released, and that the details from the medical examiner's office have been sealed.
Now, that's the part that's frustrating, right? I want you to understand something, right? It said the cause of death was not released. So how all these people on social media and YouTube is having all these narratives? What are they talking about? They saying stuff that don't make no sense, and I'm trying to figure out where you get your source from. I'm a firm believer of that. I'm not this. I don't want to come on this platform and this talk, right? I don't ever want to do that. I want to talk to y'all from a factual point because I want you to understand something. I'm a journalist. I went to college for journalism. That's what I do. That's why the site is ejthedj.tv. We building that from scratch. We going out to different events and we talking to people. We are getting facts. When we talk to people, we looking to build credibility, right? So this is why I'm going on here. This is Law and Crime. This is something that's a big network, and we're going to talk based on what they found. They have a private investigator. They are talking to the private investigator. So the goal is when I talk to you, I want you to have a point in a direction where I got it from. I'm not grabbing it from thin air and it's telling you stuff because it sounds good. I want you to understand where I'm getting it from because this is really important. So we're going to go back to that, and I want you to give me an understanding. Don't forget to call in that number 470-236-2213. If you locked into me on YouTube, don't forget like, comment, share. Don't forget to tell a friend to the friend. And don't forget to subscribe. Let everybody know that you on live with your boy Ejay the DJ. And shout out to Young Thug again, because you know Mariah the scientist. That ring was hella massive. We're gonna talk about that in a second too. We're gonna go back to that. I know I'm all over the place, but we're just having a good time tonight. What's up?
Sealed by court order. You know, according to a release from the medical examiner's office, it said at 10:54 a.m. on Friday, November 21st, the County of Los Angeles Department of Medical Examiner received a court order initiated by the Los Angeles Police Department to place a security hold on medical examiner case number 2025-14252 Celeste Rivas Hernandez. No records or details associated with the case, including the cause and manner of death and medical examiner report, can be released or posted on the website until further notice. And then you had the Robbery Homicide Division that released a statement not only addressing this, but also addressing the media reporting that Celeste was decapitated and that her body was either entirely or partially frozen. Now, this is based primarily on reporting from TMZ. They had a statement that said, Robbery Homicide Division statement on Celeste Rivas investigation, Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Police Department is aware of the recent stories posted by various media outlets about the David Celeste Rivas investigation and would like to dispel some misinformation contained in their reporting. The body of Celeste Rivas was not frozen when it was discovered on September 8th, 2025. She had not been decapitated. As far as the court order, the LAPD sought to seal the records of the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's investigation into Celeste Rivas' death. That order was sought only to ensure detectives from Robbery Homicide Division learned of important information surrounding her death before the media and the public. The order was not sought to undermine transparency. Okay, now we got to talk about this update. And this update concerns Steve Fisher. We've had him on the program before. Steve is the private investigator.
Hold on, I want to bring that back, right? I want to bring that back a little bit. Y'all heard what he said, right? So a lot of people is on social media right now just say anything for likes, comments, and giggles. We're not doing that, right? We're going to be going with facts because facts is going to dictate the outcome. We're not talking about something we thinking. We're not talking about how we feel. We're only talking about facts. So this is something that we're going to discuss going forward every time on his channel based off facts. So if you thinking with your emotion and you feel it some kind of way, it's okay. It might not be the channel for you. But this is only based off facts, what we know, not what we think, not what we assume, not what we feel. Say it one more time. So this is Law and Crime. This is Side Note. So this is the private investigator that's going through the trial. We're going through the case right now or weaving out the ins and outs. But again, he's not working directly with LAPD. He's a private investigator. So keep that in mind. Private investigator don't mean LAPD. The LAPD or the police department have a different department with the police, the detectives, and they have the coroner, the people that, you know, do all the autopsies and stuff. Y'all follow me on that one?
Who is hired by the owner of the property where David had reportedly been staying in the Hollywood Hills. That property was apparently near the Tesla. That property, by the way, was searched by authorities. Now, Steve has come out and made some comments about his investigation. including things like this.
But I will say this, there are some things that, and I'm talking physical evidence that was at that house that is, there could have been greater plans as far as getting rid of her. And it's scary, sadistic stuff. And that's why we're trying to learn more about that. I wish I could say more, but for obvious reasons I can't. But it doesn't have to do with how she died, but maybe how they were planning on ultimately getting rid of her, and how maybe that Tesla was just a holding spot at the time, and things just, their timing was just off as far as getting this done. But there's a few things that were just like, will blow your mind.
And he was recently discussed on another episode of Sidebar, where he made a post on X seemingly fighting back about potentially being held in contempt of court for allegedly talking about or discussing a case that he had seemingly testified about. He really fought back against that allegation as well. And we assume this was about the Celeste Rivas Hernandez case. Not definitively confirmed, but when you read between the lines of his message, it seemed to be that. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit later. But now, given what he has said about his findings, this is what we need to talk about. He just posted this on X. Quote, "Although my words have been misquoted by some, what I actually said about certain items found at the Doheny address was that they were, quote, items you would expect to find on a farm rather than in a home in the Hollywood Hills. One of those items was a burn cage incinerator, advertised to burn at 1,600 degrees. Human cremations are typically performed at approximately 1,400 degrees. An incinerator is not legal to use within city limits and serves no legitimate purpose at a residential property in the Hollywood Hills. Some will argue that this item was intended as a prop for a video. If that were the case, it raises several obvious questions. Why would a 55-pound bird cage be delivered to a private residence instead of directly to a prop designer or production house?
See, that's where it get muddy at, right? Now we got to understand he's an artist. And just because he have things like that, now I'm not defending him at all. Not defending him, but I want to play devil advocate, because just because he got that, I don't know why, but it could be a lot of different reasons. He's an artist. He could have got it where his residence is at because he planned was keeping it. He could have been doing another video again. We don't know. This is all assumptions, right? Right. That's why he cleared it up. So listen what he's saying.
Why would it be ordered before departing on an extended world tour? And why was it never used in any video production? It is also important to note that there were additional items present that could be used in conjunction with the burn cage. To be very clear, this burn cage was not used. It was still new and in the box.
See, that's what I'm trying to say. See, you see how they push the narrative? They talk about a burnt cage, but it was never used. She wasn't burnt. She wasn't cut up, and she was not in the freezer. But this is narratives that's being put out. So I want y'all to understand and listen what I'm trying to say to y'all. It's all about facts and understanding. That's it.
However, given that Celeste Rivas Hernandez's remains were ultimately found in the Tesla trunk, the presence of an incinerator at the same residence associated with that vehicle necessarily raises questions about intent. The burn cage was not taken during the search warrant, and because it was not used, it appears it's not of importance to any possible criminal investigation. But we think it's important context, even if not criminal. The burn cage and other related items were delivered to the residence under a false name, although the deliveries were accepted at the property. Attached is a photograph of the actual burn cage incinerator as found at the residence, along with an image from Dr. Burns' advertising materials for the product. Hashtag Celeste Rivas Hernandez, hashtag David. And he does include those photos, by the way. What do we make of this? Let me bring on Matt Irvine to talk about this. Retired detective, law enforcement instructor. Matt, so
I've never seen the burnt cage before. Hold on.
hashtag David. And he does include those.
That's the burnt cage. That's how the burnt cage look. Y'all see that? That's how the burnt cage look. Very interesting. Try to think about that. Now, that's I don't know. This case is very interesting. I just don't know. I just don't know right now. For real.
Photos, by the way. What do we make of this? Let me bring on Matt Irvine to talk about this. Retired detective, law enforcement instructor. Matt, so good to have you here. Quite the statement from Steve Fisher. making it public. Your thoughts if this is true?
Well, I think Steve Fisher's remarks are very well considered. I cannot think of a legitimate, innocent reason why a burn cage would be received at a private residence, why it would be ordered under a false name. I also, frankly,
Well, let's
can't
actually just start
understand.
there. Keep your thought. The
Okay.
only thing I would say is about a false name, you know, if he's a celebrity, he doesn't want people knowing that he's staying there. Thoughts?
I was about to say that. See that's not a thing we gotta understand and think, right? These are celebrities and regular people deliver mail. And I'm not saying regular people to be rude, but nobody want to let that cat out the bag. If let's just say somebody is delivering mail and they found out David's there and they let the public know, now that's a whole nother can of worms he just opened up. So you gotta sit back and start thinking about these things, right? And we gotta start understanding what's going on. Now, this case has been going on for a long time, and the police is still investigating. Let the police investigate and let us report. That's what I'm gonna do.
Fair enough, but if he's got a bunch of people that he's working with because he intends to use this as part of a concert tour, as part of a video, he's got a whole staff of people that can order something for him. I don't understand why he would need to do it under an assumed name. But your point is well taken. That could be an innocent explanation. But again, to Steve's points, if that is indeed the intent for this item, why is it delivered to a private residence? Why is it not with them on tour? Why is it not taken to some location to be used for some kind of a video? That said, I also can't think of a good reason why LAPD didn't seize this item. I mean, if you're conducting an investigation into a body found in the trunk of a car, one of your working theories has got to be that this body was placed there in order to move it from the scene where the death occurred and then transport it to.
But you see this the narrative of how misinformation gets around. He's saying what he would do, but he's not in this situation. So how could you speak on what you would do based off what somebody else did? Okay, cool. He's saying with the police, and the police are professionals. I know you have your opinions. Things do happen. We know that. We're not saying that they're 100% perfect. We do know that. Things happen. We know that. But the fact that they didn't take it, so is it really important to the investigation? She was not burnt. She was not in the freezer, and she was not chopped up. But there's narratives that's being put out there. So why are we so concerned on things that's not helping the investigation? If the police was there and they doing a thorough investigation, as they say, sometimes they do things through the hole. But they said that they did a thorough investigation. So let the police be police, please.
Some third location to conceal it or dispose of it. And if you're looking at the possibility that somebody is trying to dispose of a body, and you search the residence of a person of interest in that case, and you find what is essentially a home crematorium, why don't you take that? I know that when you're serving a search warrant, you can only.
I'm trying to understand. Take it for what? What are they taking it for? It was brand new. It was not used. What are you taking it for? What evidence are you going to use if it's not used? Let me know.
Seize the things that the court authorized you to seize and that you told the court you expected to find there. I'm sure nobody expected to find this item there. But what you do in a search warrant when you find something evidentiary that was unexpected is you write what's called a piggyback warrant. It's a simple addendum where you say, hey, judge, while serving that search warrant that you issued, we found this other thing. We think it's evidence. We'd like to seize that too. It's a typical one-page addendum that's tacked onto your warrant. I've never seen a judge not sign one of those, and I don't know why that wasn't done in this case.
So let me ask you this, Matt. You could be 100% right? First of all, assuming this is true, that a burn cage was delivered there, and assuming for a moment that law enforcement didn't seize it, okay, let's say that's accurate. I guess the question would be either, like you said, it was beyond the realm, it was beyond the scope of a search warrant. Maybe they didn't amend it for whatever reason. Or is it possible, when we're trying to think about what happened to Celeste, her body showed absolutely no sign of burning whatsoever, and they couldn't definitively establish that the purchase, the delivery of this incinerator was related to her in any way?
Well, that's a fair statement. I mean, and as Steve Fisher mentioned, it was unused, but it seems like because of the circumstances that this body was found
making stuff up right now.
in the trunk of the car, that the the crime of disposal of the body was incomplete, that there was a plan, or at least the beginnings of a plan, to conceal or dispose of the body, and for one reason or another, that plan was not fully executed. And that doesn't make the burn cage any less evidentiary. Again, a search warrant doesn't have to reach the level of probable cause to arrest. You just have to argue that you're investigating a crime and that this item is potentially evidence of that crime. So it's a much lower standard than what you would need to arrest somebody. And I think that standard is well met just by the circumstances of the discovery of Celeste's body.
If somebody had used that, could it thoroughly incinerate a body and there'd be no human composition left? There'd be no human remains left?
I'm not familiar with that product. I trust Steve Fisher when he says that an incineration of a human body.
You see how narratives get twisted that fast? I want y'all to really start paying attention to like narratives, right? And I'm not no way defending David at all. No way. I don't agree with what happened. That little girl Celeste needs justice. Well, we need to find out what happened. But putting out false information is not going to help us get closer to the answer at all. Right? We need to sit back and let the police be police. This private investigator is doing research, which is good. I'm hearing it. I'm hearing there's a grand jury that's that's doing what the grand jury do. I'm not sure about that as of right now because we don't have clear information. We have other sites that's saying that arrest is coming. But I don't know when the police give you a warning and let you know that we're going to come and arrest you unless you want to run because they're looking for you. But when the police come arrest you, they just go and arrest you. So it's so much misinformation out here. And I just want to provide the facts of what's going on. And I don't want to assume anything. But I do want to get justice for Celeste because this is a sad situation. That little girl didn't deserve to die like that. I don't agree with that one bit. And I would like to find out what happened because she was in the trunk on her birthday. Like that shit is whack. Like for on every scope. So we need to really find justice. But before we could do that, we got to have the facts of the information because it ain't what you know, is what you could prove in the court of law. So they could think, they could assume, and they could say he did it. But there's no proof that he did it, then what are we talking about? And I'm separating my feelings from the facts.
Cremation takes place at 1400 degrees. If this thing could go to 1600, I don't know what its capacity is at 55 pounds. I can't imagine it's that large. But that again brings us back to this allegation of dismemberment or potential dismemberment if you're going to dispose of a body in that way. It's a pretty awful thing to consider, but it looks like somebody may have been considering this.
Well, that's an interesting part because when we first started on this case, there was a question: why was the body left in a Tesla? Either it was, somebody was in the middle of trying to figure out what to do next with the body, they panicked. Or it was deliberately left there to cast.
That's the part that I don't like. They saying that somebody left the body there, they panic. They saying that. How do we know that? That is not a fact. We don't know that. We know a body got found in front of David's house. D4VD. David is found. That's a fact. He's an artist. He was dealing with her. So they say, and that was his car. The car was registered to his name. He didn't drive it in a while. And they saying that it was his vehicle, his car. She was found in his car. Now they got to put the facts together to pit him with the body. That's the job for the police. So why we keep saying that people got scared and people cut her up and she was frozen? Where are we getting this from? And that's the part about being a journalist, understand the facts versus fiction is what I want to know. How do we get this right? Because I want to know, for real.
Suspicion on David, right? We thought that could have been a possibility. But if the body's left in the car, and now you're thinking about the purchase of this incinerator, that is like really, really, really sloppy work. I mean, you're purchasing an item to be delivered for potentially the disposal of a body. I mean, that's the allegation, or one of the allegations. We don't know for sure. But if we're taking that as true, That is like really bad planning on a number of different levels.
Well, I would expect that however Celeste died was not something that was very well planned or thought through. And I would expect that if you've got a bunch of people who don't have significant, sophisticated criminal histories and they're confronted with a dead body under whatever circumstance, panic would be a pretty likely reaction. And,
I don't like that.
despite all the stuff we see in TV and movies, most people that commit crimes aren't terribly sophisticated. These are not, Ocean's 11 type, master criminal kinds of enterprises. These are people that get in situations where they are way over their head. Things happen that they did not intend, and they get out of control and they panic. And a lot of the kind of circumstances of this case seem to suggest that.
And if it is true that that burn cage was not used, that it was left in the packaging, if someone had purchased that for the purpose, let's say, of disposing of Celeste's body, it gives you kind of an insight to someone's mentality and what they're capable of doing, which also makes me wonder, was this the first attempt to dispose of her body? If someone would be willing to incinerate her body, and we don't have definitive evidence of that, I mean, we're just taking this report from Steve Fisher for a minute, we're assuming it. Does it not give you indication about what the state of Celeste's body may have been like? And again, what's complicated is we don't know the cause and manner of death. We don't know more details, particularly about her body. But am I off to say, if someone has the will to do that, would this have been their first attempt to dispose of a body? Does it give you an indication of what else may have happened to Celeste's body?
Well, you raise a couple of questions. I mean, everything about the circumstances of the discovery of poor Celeste's body suggests something that was not terribly well planned, and an act that was not complete. In terms of the burn cage, it's hard to know when in the course of all of this item was purchased. Was this the first plan to dispose of her body, and for some reason, a plan B was hatched that involved putting it in the trunk of the car? Was there somebody that was supposed to remove the body from the trunk and place it in the burn cage, and for one reason or another, either failed to do that or decided not to do that? I mean, there's a lot we can speculate about here. I think the big takeaway is that one or more people, probably inexperienced in criminal activity.
This bothers me so much, man. R.I.P. Celeste, man. I want to really, hopefully, they get to the top of this, top of the year, man. She was found in, I want to say, September. She was found in September, and this is going into the new year, and still no arrests have been found, no updates of what's going on, only speculation. I want to know what y'all feel about that. Like, for real, I want to know what y'all feel about that right now. That's tuned in. 470-236-2213. I want to know what you feel about that. Because September, her body was found, and it's still no answers. Everybody's pointing a finger. Everybody's making stuff up, but nobody knows what's really going on. I want to know. 470-236-2213. Call me up right now. Let me know what you feel, what you think, and what you know. This is like, this is bad. It bothers me, for real. It really bothers me, because I don't like the fact that we need to get justice for this young lady. For real, for real.
Panicked and hatched one or more schemes, none of which ultimately were taken to their completion.
Mm-hmm. But what is complicating, I mentioned before, is you have this seal on the medical examiner records. In your experience, I don't know if you and I had an opportunity to talk about this whatever's going on between the ME's office and the LAPD is interesting, to say the least.
It is interesting and it is unusual. The LA coroner's office works with 40 plus agencies in the greater LA County area, but it works very, very closely with LAPD, and particularly with robbery homicide. And, defense attorneys often complain that homicide detectives and the coroner work too closely together. I've attended autopsies where I'm standing with the medical examiner and we're looking at the evidence and we're talking about what we think may have happened. And when people are acting in good faith, that leads to good information and good investigations, but it's very hand in glove. And that's not true in every jurisdiction, but it's very true in LA. And it's particularly true for the truly expert and experienced people in LAPD robbery homicide. So for them to be issuing contradictory statements or for the LA coroner's office to say, we wish we could tell you, but we can't. And then LAPD coming out and saying what's being leaked, possibly from the coroner's office, is not true. I have never seen that before. These are people that work very, very closely together.
That's what I was saying. Is so much conflicting information. I want to know what y'all think about that because there's so much conflicting information. Like for me, it's like every day is something new. There's big platforms that saying she was frozen. There's big platforms saying she was chopped up. There's big platforms saying that there's a arrest coming up. And I'm like, how do you know that? How do a police officer or a cop detective call a big platform and let them know a arrest is coming? I thought when the police is doing an investigation, they come and arrest you when you don't know. Why would you give the bad guys, the perpetrators, a heads up? Like, help me make it make sense. I just feel like there's so much misinformation out there. Why? I don't know. But what we do know is a young girl got killed. She was in the trunk of a Tesla. We don't know why. We don't know when. But we do know who owned the vehicle. That's David. He's an artist. We do know that. So we do know it's his vehicle, her body found in the front, and now we got to figure out why and who did it. Or better yet, they got to put the pieces to prove that he did it. Like I said, again, it ain't what you know, it's what you could prove in a court of law. Keep that in mind, people. It's not what you know, it's what you could prove in a court of law. So they got to get the evidence proper to get the grand jury. But supposedly they have a grand jury, but there's no arrests have been made. So what's going on? But nobody's talking about this. Everybody's talking about the same old, same old. I don't know what they talk about. And I ain't trying to put nobody down because that's not what we about. We about communicating and understanding and growing. But what I do want to understand, facts versus fiction.
Together on very sensitive cases, and there's usually a lot of trust and a lot of cooperation.
Yeah, and the chief medical examiner released a statement at the time saying the department's mission is to have full transparency with the community by providing information about our cases to empower people to make changes that save lives. Since becoming the department head, I've worked on eradicating the practice of placing security holds on medical examiner cases simply by law enforcement request. The practice of security holds is virtually unheard of in other counties and has not been proven to improve outcomes in the legal system. We are dedicated to serving our community with full transparency. However, the law precludes us from doing so while the court order remains in this case. Look, I get the position of LAPD. They don't want to compromise an ongoing investigation. They want to be careful about what information's out there. Two questions I have for you is, one, do you think the medical examiner's office definitively knows the cause and manner of death for Celeste? And B, what is LAPD's greatest concern about information?
Now, I don't think the coroner office knows the proper cause of death. That's why they're keeping it from us. And that's why I think all this misinformation is being put out, because their goal is to get somebody that's close, scared, and hopefully they tell. That's my theory. I don't think that they know. But what I do believe is that they're trying to create a narrative where whoever's close to the case and they not really criminal get scared and start talking. That's what they need. They need somebody to leak the information, to talk. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but that's my theory. If we're going to stick to this, we're going to stick to this, we're going to stick to this, we're going to stick to this. Let's see what they're going to say, because I don't know. My first time hearing it with y'all.
Information coming out.
So there's a lot about this that is very confusing and unusual to me.
Yep.
First of all, I would say it is very likely the LA Medical Examiner's Office knows as much as they're going to know. It's been more than 3 months since Celeste remains were discovered. I can't imagine a test or a procedure that would not have been performed by now and for which the results would not have returned. So I don't know what they know, but I'm afraid, or I expect, that they know all that they're going to. Sure. LAPD's greatest concern, obviously, is about information getting out that could damage the investigation, particularly at this point where nobody's been arrested or charged. That said, it's also strange to me that if their concern is protection of information, and the integrity of their investigation, that there would be, as has been reported, an investigative grand jury being held right now. Because when you bring people into an investigative grand jury and ask them questions, they then exit that questioning and consult with their attorney. And now you've got two people that at least have some insight into what the investigation is about. And if you've got multiple people being brought before a grand jury, there's often going to be a common defense agreement among them where all of the persons who are questioned and all of their attorneys are all talking to each other. So at least among the people who could potentially be charged or called as witnesses in this case, there's a lot of information potentially leaking out just by virtue of the grand jury process.
I've been told that one of the advantages of an investigative grand jury here, other than, presenting evidence and issuing subpoenas and gathering more evidence, and by the way, my understanding is this is a grand jury that wouldn't even be able to issue a formal indictment. You would need to bring it to another grand jury. But one of the advantages is you can lock in witnesses' testimony. And for a future case, hit them with it. Say, this is what you testified to in the grand jury. This is what you said. We're locking in your testimony as a future witness in a case, particularly when it's complicated, particularly when it's high profile. And there was reporting from TMZ about who may or may, who may be appearing at that courthouse, which can complicate it as well. But you tell me what you think the advantage would be.
So the advantage to an investigative grand jury is that they can compel the production of evidence, be it physical evidence, documents, records, or testimony. And that, as you said, can lock people into statements. It may be accompanied by immunity agreements and proffers where people are being cooperated. We've talked before about there possibly being a kind of a sliding scale of culpability here where they want to roll less culpable people on the more culpable people. Grand jury is certainly a way to do that. Often, though, in a typical criminal investigation, these locking people into statements and gathering evidence is done by the police. They're interviewing people, they're serving search warrants, and they're getting this information that way. So obviously they can't compel people under oath, but they're usually pretty good at getting people to talk. And so the fact that there is, at least as reported, an investigative grand jury suggests that there is evidence, be it documentary or testimonial, that the DA needs that the police have been unable to obtain.
And by the way, just so we're clear, if there is an issue, if the indictment is ultimately handed down and there's an arrest, are we, the public, a Celeste family, going to know every detail immediately? Are we all going to understand what happened to Celeste if and when that day comes?
It really depends on how the DA's office decides to issue the indictment. An indictment can be a very, very brief document that simply outlines the charges and the persons being charged, or it can be what they sometimes call a speaking indictment, which is more common on the federal side.
Oh, man, listen, what this all boils down to is they don't know. They don't have information. They don't have all the facts. But we do know LAPD is involved. That's who's running the show, and the medical examiner. And they don't know the cause of death. RIP to Celeste. It's a sad situation. We don't know what's going on, but a lot of hearsay. And they're doing a great job at propaganda right now. And let's be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. Because let's be real. If they really had evidence on David, he'd been locked up right now. They said a grand jury was supposed to be had no arrest as of yet. They seen all this information and still no arrest. So what y'all think? I want to know what y'all think because something is not making sense. Is people that's talking? Because I want to know. 470-236-2213. You know what it is. Your boy Ejay the DJ. We just having a good time right now. We just vibing out on this good, what's today? Wednesday, right? On this good Wednesday. What we doing? Talk to you people. You know what it is. We're going to have some fun today. I want to talk about the Diddy case. After that, we're going to wrap this up. But the reckoning. Have you heard the reckoning? Sean Diddy Combs. Talk to me, people. Very interesting. Very interesting is a documentary on Diddy. Netflix put it together. Interesting concept. What's really going on, people? What's really going on, people? Like, I want to know if you tuned in right now. Let me know how you feel, what's your thoughts, and what is going on. Because this is a scary situation. 50 Cent is going at everybody. I'm going to let y'all know what's going on after this. If you don't know now, you know this. Your boy Ejay the DJ. We just having a good time right now. This is the YouTube vibe. This is the after hour vibe. This is the stream vibe. We didn't get us a name yet. I don't know. Because, Conversation with Ejay the DJ is my podcast. And now we on live. We're going to think about a name. I don't know yet. Call and let me know what you think. 470-236-2213. I'm Ejay the DJ, man. You know what it is. We just having a good time tonight. I want to know how you feel about The Reckoning, Sean Combs. Official breakdown. Here we go.
And it's like, I want to fight for my life. I want to fight for, just and not guilty. Like, I want to have a life to be able to live. It's really going to be hard for me to take more hits than I take it. God forbid, get in front of a jury and have a chance. And so I'm having this emergency call because something has to give.
We need the core theme to be, you didn't do anything wrong. You didn't do anything wrong on any front. And you've come to New York to face things head on. If anyone's ever paying any attention to what you've actually been doing, you've handled this with complete honor.
I don't think it's working. I listened. I've been a superb client, as you said. I jumped on the plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting for a shoe to drop.
We're losing sight of the big picture, man. It's the middle of September and there's still no indictment.
Bro, then you have to have a spokesman. You have to have some sort of comms to constantly be pushing that, Mark. Because you may just be a person that just does.
That's Diddy lawyer, if you don't know. Mark Afafilio. He's a high-paying lawyer. He got Diddy off that case. Well, he didn't get life. He just got 2 counts of the Mann Act. The RICO, he didn't get. This is my first time hearing about a RICO with one person. I thought a RICO was a group of people in furtherance of a gang or to create more money. Interesting what's going on. Diddy. So much been going on. Are we with him or we against him? A lot of people don't like 50 Cent right now because he made a documentary based on what he did. But everybody's talking about 50 Cent, but nobody's talking about the victims. A lot of victims in the situation. If you tuned in to Netflix documentary, The Reckoning, I want to know your opinion. If you don't want to call it, it's okay. The comments here on the bottom. I want y'all to do me a favor. Like, comment, share. It's Ejay the DJ TV. And we just warming up. What's up, though?
You just may watch CNN. You know what I'm saying? And there's 9 billion people in the world. And 7 billion of them is on Instagram.
Whoa.
And TikTok. And so you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the possible jurors are thinking.
Whoa.
We have to find somebody that'll work with us, whether they from this country or from another country. It could be somebody that has dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business of media and propaganda.
When you're a leader in that way, it's admirable until you get to the point where you want to control everyone around you. He got to that point.
It's like Scarface, the movie. I want the world and everything that's in it. But you got everything. Hey, yo, New York, we did it! Harlem, we did it, motherfucker, we did it!
It was a mantra that Sean had. Nobody's gonna be bigger than me.
Sean is the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. We'll never see a Sean in my lifetime again. Ever.
It was like the more money he got, the more power he got, the more power he got, the more money he got. And he always felt like money can get him out of everything.
I do feel it's important that we let the public know from the juror standpoint, just kind of how we reach the verdict. It's not everything that the media has put it out to be.
You want to put stuff in my fanny pack, King?
He's creating a narrative always. He is the best storyteller in hip hop. He thinks he's Black Superman. I can do what I want.
You can't go on for long in life doing the things that he was doing before something eventually happens. You can't continue to keep hurting people and nothing ever happens. Just a matter of time.
AJ Brown, what have you, it allows them to get a clearer picture, stretch the defense horizontally faster, right? And it also, conversely, makes the defense think a tick longer, which they clear.
This shit is not fucking easy. There's a whole lot of crazy shit going on. You know, when I saw they knocked the bad boy building down, yeah. Like that shit was crazy to me that shit wasn't there, which is a sign to me like, nigga, time to go to the future. Time to go to the future. That was a little building. Prepare for the building that I got ready for the son. You know what I'm saying? So it was a sign to me like that, but I'm saying that shit there like 2 months ago, right? I'm not tripping. Yeah, it was there. Yeah.
I definitely want to talk about that Ray J comment that he said. I don't know if you heard that or not, but we're gonna get to that in a second. That was real funny.
Puff is in this position where he has all this turmoil, but he's not at the point where he's saying where I went wrong. He's saying to himself, how do I get out of this? Maybe I can convince some witnesses that I'm not the guy who I am. Eventually, he's going to get to the point where he's going to ask himself, how did I get myself into this situation?
Listen to me. I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what, no matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, longtime rival of Sean Diddy Combs, talked in an interview about the new Netflix docuseries. 50 Cent has addressed his involvement, explaining that while people may think he's speaking out due to their beef, he said the tension began years ago when Diddy made comments that made him uncomfortable, such as offering to take him shopping in a way that felt like Diddy was testing his willingness to play along. 50 Cent made it clear that it's not personal. He's speaking up because of the situation, not because of old issues.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me, type of thing, right, and it's not personal.
Moreover, 50 Cent framed his need to speak out as a defense of the culture. He made it clear that this isn't.
And you know the funny part is everybody's getting mad at 50 Cent, but a lot of people that was in this documentary was black folks. Nobody's talking about the victim, but they talking about Diddy is getting kicked when he's down. But where was people talking about Cassidy when she was getting kicked down? And this is information that we seen. So I want y'all to keep in mind like how they push the goalposts and switch the narrative all the time when there's a celebrity. Should very interesting, right?
About putting hip-hop on trial. It's about holding Diddy accountable for his actions alone. He stated that his silence would imply the hip-hop community condones such behavior, so he spoke up to show that it does not.
Do you think that hip-hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip-hop is fine with his behaviors.
On the project itself, 50 Cent argued the documentary's power lies in its truth. He said that even if Diddy dislikes certain moments, he won't be able to deny their reality. He believed that deep down, Diddy would recognize how well made and impactful the project really is. According to him, people are already calling it one of the best documentaries they've seen in a long time. So even though some scenes may make Diddy uncomfortable, he'll still see the reality behind them. In 50 Cent's view, the truth is unavoidable, and the documentary will present it clearly and powerfully.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time.
Listen, I want you to understand something, man. You got to love 50 Cent, man. It's a cancer. Don't play with a cancer, man. I promise you, don't play with a cancer. We might smile every day. We get on that bad side. Coming to get you. I want to talk about that Ray J joint right quick. You know, talk about if you know about that Ray J joint. I want to talk about that Ray J joint, man. I don't know what y'all listening, man. I want to make sure that I'm tuned in right. Make sure I'm tuned in right, man. Hold on 1 second, man. Hold on 1 second, man. What y'all think about this Ray J joint, man? Yo, Ray J. What's going on, my boy? What's going on, my boy? Ray J be saying anything out of his damn mouth. Shout out to Lauren La Rosa.
All right, y'all. So just a quick update of something that I just found on Instagram. I wanted to make sure I mentioned this because we talked about Russell Simmons and Kamorley Simmons in the back and forth earlier this morning on the show. So there's a clip on Russell Simmons' Instagram that he posted 4 days ago. And the caption, well, first of all, the clip is from their E-show back in the Fab Lane that they have now. And the clip is about Aoki Lee, who is his daughter, talking about living in Bali, or just not eating American food since she's moved. And the caption that he put up says, "Proud of my kids, proud of what they've become. # Bali living. I do have to admit, Aoki living here is a blessing." So I'm trying to figure out now, and I've called, my source close to Kamora, because I'm trying to figure out, like,
I don't care about Russell goddamn Simmons
in the beginning. So I just wanted to make sure I put that out there.
We're gonna speed through this very quick.
Yeah, so much. That's their family. Who cares if she?
Nobody cares about that.
And another side saying, "I'm not keeping the kid."
Nobody cares about that.
Is we back at it again. Episodes, unauthorized releases, and just giving their commentary on documentaries being released without your authorization. And 50.
I ain't gonna lie, that's an interesting beef. Mano, Jim Jones, whoa. Davies, Fabulous, whoa.
Responded to that. Let's take a listen to their podcast episode.
Documentary about you wanted to be a dope documentary.
It gotta be dope.
I definitely agree with Jim Jones on that one, man. You want to do a documentary with somebody and make it dope, but it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what's up.
Who you are, what you've done. I don't know, boy. You've accomplished. Like, a documentary is a big thing. Like, you don't want nobody doing a documentary about some, like, trying to just make your whole character look weak. Like, that's petty behavior.
I want to know the company that did it so we could talk, you know what I mean? Because if it's on me, I need, you know what I mean?
I don't understand why that.
Nah, we don't know what you mean. Say what you mean, my boy. I need to listen to you.
That's like legal to do, though.
Documentary is more like a mockumentary, like that. How can it even be called a documentary, though? Because you call a documentary when it's not.
Once you become, if you're a public person, you're in the news, you can be Google.
So do you think that is wrong or not?
I'm not with it.
Yeah, so in that episode, and at that part of their episode, they do like different like topical things that they read, and they just react to it and get their opinion on it. So unauthorized release was the topic there. So 50 Cent posted, and he says these guys are squatters. They owe He alleges they owe $250,000 for the space they're filming their podcast. These bums are trying to win Best Dressed Award and can't pay their bills. And then it's a whole swipe through. So you have the screenshot from the podcast. You have a screenshot of Jim Jones with an alleged report of something.
Hey, don't never call somebody. You'll say these guys are squatters.
That's what the caption says. And then he put the definition of a squatter. Oh, if you didn't know, I mean, I know, but if you didn't know, 50 Cent put the AI overview definition: individuals who occupy a property without legal title, permission, or a lease, often in vacant or abandoned buildings, differing from trespassers by intending to reside there long term, while squatting is illegal. He also posted the clip too, like a mashup of the clip, and he said, 50 Cent said in the caption, "I understand Diddy was your hero. Stay down with him. I don't care if you let him play with your butt, then act like."
Yo, what's going on with this play with your butt vibe, yo? This is not cool. It's hip hop, man. Listen, I'm from the era of Timberlands and baggy jeans. All this tight fitted shit is not working for me. Listen, I went to the mall the other day and they had crop top shirts for fucking males. That shit fucking bothered my spirit. So rest of the winter, white t-shirts and coats. That's it. So we doing long white t-shirts and coats. I'm bringing this shit back.
You don't remember. And I've been seeing, Mano posted and responded, and all that is the back and forth is gonna start now. Mano posted a photo of 50 Cent and said, "Meet Killer Curly, ladies and gentlemen. He helped me get my record deal before, so I'm always be grateful. So it's gonna hurt me to drag this N-word to hell. F is the problem, Curtis. What has your G unit, G string, and a bunch? Is it the," then he says the B word, "or the diabetes? But let's rap about it."
What's so interesting, I mean, outside of, what they got going on, 50 and, Jim and Fab and Mano and Davies. But what's so interesting about the 50 commentary? For everybody saying a black man shouldn't be doing this to another black man, how come we not having conversations about what Diddy did to other black people? Like when you watch that documentary, every person on that documentary except for Aubrey O'Day is black. So how come nobody is saying a black man shouldn't do that to other black people? Because here's the thing, there are things we know Diddy did because we saw it, and there are things he's being accused of. We don't know if they're true. Right. But either way, majority of people who are accusing him of something are black. So I don't understand why, there's not more conversations about that, but everybody's so, 50 Cent shouldn't be doing this to another black man. What about all the black people Diddy did and allegedly did stuff to?
Then they be acting like he made stuff up, right? Because like I've heard about a lot of this before the doc came out. It was just that the doc was like, damn, like to actually sit in a documentary, putting it all together is like, damn, the clarity. Like,
can't nobody make? Yeah, you can't make this. You can't. I mean, you don't get me wrong. You can make stuff up.
Yeah,
but he didn't. We've been hearing a bunch of these stories forever, and guess what? Right. Like I said, these are black people's stories. Except one white girl was on that documentary. 4 parts. Everybody else was black. And I ain't heard nobody say, damn, Diddy shouldn't have been doing black people like that. But 50 Cent shouldn't be doing that to another black man. No, Diddy shouldn't have been doing that.
I don't know. I Charlamagne and God be thinking what I be thinking. I think it's that cancer energy and shit. Shout out to Charlamagne and God for that one. I was saying the same exact thing. That's interesting.
Himself or those other black people, allegedly.
Yeah, to answer Fab's question, you could do a documentary on whoever you want. Right, you don't need the rights, you don't need permission. You could do a documentary on whoever you write. And what Charlamagne said is absolutely positively right. If the stuff on that documentary is true,
I mean, some of it we know is true.
Right, so if it's true, but it's not a problem, right? Because you're telling that story, whether it's good or bad. If it's a negative part of that story, yes, you're telling that stuff that's true. And another thing, just know, and I think they all know, when you play.
We're gonna end this segment of tonight with one to watch. That's what I'm gonna do it. One to watch. Let's get it.
Play with Fifth going to war.
Yeah, like that's to start a whole new round.
But I did have that same question that Fab had. I did always wonder, like, yo, can you actually just do that without somebody knowing? Just do a documentary on somebody and expect
absolutely
not to be sued?
We could do a documentary on you right now.
Yeah.
On me?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if they're alleging things, you're supposed to vet it and like to try and protect.
We should do a documentary on Jess. Jess hilarious, like for real. Cause she had no clue that we could do that shit. How about we do that? We can talk to our producers in the back. Let's do a situation on Jess hilarious. I think that would be so fun. Like she's super dope. I like how she came up, comedian, grinding. I love it. We're gonna talk about it though. Jess hilarious. You might be next.
Yourself as much as you can, but when I was at TMZ, they have a whole situation with Tubi. We did someone just tagged me one the other day. We did documentaries like 5 times a week on just random celebrities. Like,
and that's another thing. TMZ did how many documentaries on Diddy? How many shows?
Like 4 of them, right?
And nobody said nothing
Ain't nobody
about it.
called Hard 11 out yet.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? All the one they did for NBC Peacock.
Well, not to. I mean,
I just don't understand the logic of when y'all say 50 Cent, shouldn't be going at another black man, but everybody on the documentary is black people accusing Diddy of these heinous acts.
But do y'all think, in general, I know we got to wrap up. In general, do y'all think it's fair for not even just 50, because they were just having an unauthorized documentary conversation in general? Is it fair for somebody to be able to go and change the way people think of you because of a documentary? Y'all are public figures.
How did they change the way people thought about Diddy?
There may have been people that might have known everything. You might have known some of it, but you might have known everything.
I ain't gonna hold you. After the documentary, I was like, he is a monster and he should get 50 years. I was very upset.
Well, documentaries like anything else. Yeah, I don't think documentaries should be done unless you get both sides. But that's not how the law works. That's not how it works. You could do a documentary on anybody at any time. It's just like a lawsuit. I can sue you for anything. Yeah. Right now, I can say I don't like the way your hair looks, and I'm gonna sue you because it bothers me. I could say Charlamagne uses the shake weight, and he points it at me, and I feel like he's.
I'll say you bought it from me.
Get some sexual
advances. You bought her
advances.
spray for her hair.
Yeah, and everybody talking about.
And then y'all can sue me back.
Yeah, ombre hairline, all that gray over there. All right.
Don't stop, Lauren. Load up again.
No,
that was a good one.
That was a shout out. I love Envy. You heard me to say that. I did want to wrap this.
Load up again. You sure?
We gotta go.
Yeah, I love Envy. It's not you. It's different.
We gotta go.
Because Ray J said that he took his butt too. He alleged that.
Oh, please down blacks.
Hush. Can we cuss for a second?
Tearing down blacks.
Tell that story, Lauren.
Ray J was out and about just enjoying his time with Sheila, and he said that Diddy took his butt too, allegedly.
Damn.
With Sheila?
You got audio?
Yes.
Let me hear it.
My ass.
I don't want to go there. I want to go here. 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 I want to go here.
My ass open more than it's been ever in my life.
Should I say I have to take
everybody? You got one?
But girls don't do that.
My shit running.
Diddy took my. My shit, you can't hold it no more. My shit been running ever since.
What the fuck you talk about, Ray J? Y'all heard? Yo, what the fuck?
My ass open more than it's been ever in my life.
Should I say I have to take
everybody? You got one?
But girls
Bro,
don't do that.
my shit running. Diddy took my. My shit, you can't hold it no more. My shit been running ever since. My ass been open more than it's been ever in my life. Man, when I try to fart, my shit come out. It's crazy. Bro, I've been,
All right, so can we get through? It's serious. That's all you gotta say. Next time you stuck behind the gate, just say, Diddy made you, like, what'd you say, Diddy?
What, you recording me?
No, you.
I told you Diddy took me.
I hate them filters, for real. I really hate them damn filters. Shouts out to the females out here on them filters. Shouts to everybody doing what they doing, how they doing it. But I appreciate y'all rocking with me tonight, man. We had a good time. This is Ejay the DJ TV. This is something new. Don't forget, we got a call in number 470-236-2213. Don't forget, like, comment, share. Let everybody know. Shout out to everybody left a comment. Shout out to everybody on Twitch, Kick, TikTok, YouTube, and don't forget, most importantly, Facebook Live. We appreciate y'all. There's something new we're doing. This live will be available immediately. Like, comment, share, tell a friend, comment. Let's get it. Let's go.